All right. Welcome in to another episode of the Washington Commanders franchise. In the last episode, we lost a pretty close game to the New York Jets with Aaron Rodgers, not without Aaron Rodgers, although they did just drop 30 points on the Texans with Zach Wilson. If you're just joining us now, it is just about midnight here on the East Coast, and it's Thursday, and the Raiders just murdered the Chargers by a final score of 63-21. It was a real nail-biter. I'm sorry if you guys didn't get to see it. Anyways, viewing the playoff picture. We're not in the fucking playoff picture. We are 8-7 right now, which is the same record, I believe, as the Panthers. In the Eagles. Or are we a game behind? I don't know. But we're 8-7. We're currently out of the playoff picture. That's all that matters. We only have 2 games left, and we're going up against the Niners and the Cowboys to close out the year. I don't think I can do anything new in terms of college players. So we're going to play the 49ers. We're going to go ahead and take a look at their starting lineup. So their starting quarterback is Brock Purdy, 78 overall. He's currently the number 2 MVP favorite here in real life. They, of course, have Christian McCaffrey as their running back, 99 overall, superstar X Factor. We have done a pretty good job this year of containing the run game, but Christian McCaffrey is a different animal. Deebo Samuel, superstar X Factor, 81 overall. Brandon Ayuk's an 89 overall. They got Jawan Jennings, Ray McLeod. Tight end, they got George Kittle, 97 overall, another superstar X Factor. If there's anyone who should be a superstar X Factor offensive lineman, it's probably Trent Williams, but Madden hates fat people. Aaron Banks, Jake Brendel, Spencer Burford, and Marcus Cannon, who's playing for the Texans in real life. Their defense, they got Drake Jackson, Nick Bosa, another member of the 99 overall club, and Javon Hargrave and Arik Armstead. They do play a 4-3, whereas a lot of teams will play a 3-4. Linebacking core, they have Kyler Fackrell, Fred Warner, another superstar X Factor, 97 overall. Dude's just insane. And Dre Greenlaw, 88 overall. Secondary, they got Travarius Ward, Isaiah Oliver, and whatever that says. Their safeties are Tashawn Gibson, still kicking in the league at 33 years old, and whatever that says. Special teams unit, they have the rookie kicker and Jake Moody and Mitch Wishnowski. Alright, so we're going to jump into our weekly strategy here. We did struggle against the pass last week instead of the run, so I think we're going to defend the short pass. I know Christian McCaffrey's Christian McCaffrey, but we've been getting toasted by the pass game, and we have done pretty good against the run this year. I think we have to go with blitz counter on the offensive side of the ball, or else Nick Bosa is going to ruin our lives. Who do I want to focus on? You know what? I think I'm going to throw Emmanuel Forbes in there. What do I want our goal to be? I feel like allowing 2 or less passing touchdowns is pretty... It seems easy. It seems almost... You get 6 skill points for something that we usually do. Alright. And what do we have for injuries? I see a PCL sprain right away for some dude I don't care about. Alright, no injuries on the defensive side. Alright, so I think we're going to go in and start this game.
It's week 17 of the National Football League, and we'll see Brock Purdy. After his last game, he's now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the 49ers and the Commanders coming up next.
Alright, we are set to kick things off against the 49ers. We're 8-7. The Niners are only 9-6 in this universe, as they're going to take the kick and return it to the 26. Actually, a decent return there.
The Niners offense set to go to work, and it's last year's revelation, Brock Purdy, who leads him out in season number 2 from Iowa State.
I love just about everything about him. Love his
Brock Purdy on the year, 3,100 yards, 29 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
Purdy going to the air right away.
And first pass gets thrown into the dirt after pressure was brought on by Chase Young.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
And a quick pass there to George Kittle, and he fumbles, but it's out of bounds.
Out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well.
I don't know about you, but I can hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession.
And that pass over the middle is knocked down. Jatavius Martin with an insane jump there to get a hand on the pass. And they are going to punt it.
Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away.
Oh, wait, I don't want Jahan Dotson back there.
Just a single yard on the return. And it will be Washington football now.
He had 2 fumbles last game returning kicks. We recovered both of them. So we take a look at Sam Howell's stats, just shy of 3,000 yards, 21 touchdowns, 22 picks. His completion percentage right now is hovering around 57, 58%. So that and the 21 touchdown passes are primarily what I'm looking at. Those aren't the only stats I'd look at if I were actually judging his play on film, but a lot of the interceptions end up falling on me because I don't know how to read a defense. I want Curtis Samuel to return punts. As far as I know, he's the fastest player on the team, tied with Terry McLaurin, 94 overall speed.
This week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So, I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard.
And Antonio Gibson with his first carry picks up 6 yards.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
And the ball on to 30. Here's 2nd and 4. Powell out of the shotgun. Steps away to his left.
And we just get rid of it.
No one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
And once he escaped the pocket there, he tried to keep those eyes downfield, but nothing was materializing. So he makes a smart move and gets that to the sideline.
From the gun on 3rd down, Howell.
Oh, and we get brought down from behind. And we start off with a 3 and out.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Christian McCaffrey's returning punts.
4 on the return, and the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Back out there comes the 49ers offense, ready for their 2nd drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or...
And Purdy under pressure. And on the nickel blitz, Jartavius Martin brings him down for the sack.
And not try and force something that can put your team in some jeopardy. Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the...
Jartavius Martin's having a hell of a rookie year.
Playing behind the sticks.
Purdy now on 2nd down.
And that pass over the middle is held onto by Brandon Ayuk, and Brandon Ayuk slips out of a couple of tackles, and there he goes. Touchdown Niners.
Brandon Ayuk hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective...
We had a linebacker matched up against him. I think that's Deion Harris. Or is that Jamin Davis?
That should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out
I don't know.
And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Jake Moody now for the point.
It was a linebacker going up against Brandon Ayuk. We'd be lucky if we didn't lose that matchup.
A 7-0 lead. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Here is
We're down 7-0 here.
Following the touchdown.
We're going to just let this one hit for a touchback.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
And we don't block Fred Warner. Brian Robinson picks up 2, which is the number of touchdowns he had last week. 17 carries for $174 and 2 touchdowns. He had a really long touchdown run for like 80 yards, I think it was. Or somewhere in that neighborhood.
And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run.
So outside of that, he still had a pretty good game, but the stats being as insane as they are come on one long run. It's not like the guy was averaging 10 yards a carry the entire way through, as Robinson picks up 4 more.
The game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Now trying to pick it up on 3rd.
And that pass is dropped by John Bates. Fred Warner comes and knocks it out. They're under pressure on that play, and we have to punt again. Back-to-back 3 and outs.
Their first 2 drives, it looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
And now the punter Tress Way as he sends this one away.
Fair catch called for by Christian McCaffrey at the 27.
7 yards on the punt with no return, and they will take over 1st and 10.
And McCaffrey
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32.
runs right into Derek Forrest there.
Last week, 13 carries, 70
Picks up 5.
yards.
And those numbers have both he and his blockers motivated this week. They saw that yardage total climbing, but stopped short of 100. Every one of them has to be driven this week to help him reach the century mark.
They got Deebo Samuel in the backfield now. And that pass is going to be picked off by Kendall Fuller. And Kendall Fuller has some space before he's brought down from behind by Christian McCaffrey.
22.
Nice play by Kendall Fuller there. He's had his struggles this year, but that was a nice play.
I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn
Robinson up the middle
And
for a
now
few.
room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8.
And this pass is complete. Logan Thomas gets drilled, but he does pick up the first down.
Ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Robinson again
And he'll get this
picks up a
one
couple.
at the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
They're looking at a 2nd and 8 now from the 10. Back to throw. Howell.
And that pass is tipped up in the air and incomplete.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line. Going
Inaccurate pass.
But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
Howell throwing on 3rd down here.
That pass is complete to Curtis Samuel, and Curtis Samuel's in for the touchdown. The route combination I drew in the dirt ended up working, and we're in for 6. I sent both guys over the middle. Basically another mesh concept.
Because usually your rookie season is in a
And they bit more on Terry McLaurin than they bit on Curtis Samuel.
You just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and we are tied at 7. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Returning from his end zone is Ray McLeod.
And Ray McLeod through the middle finds the hole, and he is going to take this all the way for the touchdown.
He's in. Touchdown 49ers. The extra point try now from Moody.
Well then.
It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. And no doubt one of the most, if not the
And Cameron Curl is out for the game. He has broken ribs.
all the way to the end zone for 6 points.
When the fuck did he get hurt?
So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And that last touchdown drive, a good mix of pass and run. Defensively, they just looked a little out of whack.
And it's so hard to stay up with an offense that has things going so well, where you're guessing and guessing wrong play after
Brian Robinson for 4.
is someone on the defensive side of the ball
leader, right?
to make them guessing what the play call is.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Gibson here.
And Gibson has the ball.
He takes this up to the 40-yard line.
He has a nice gain there. Good for a first.
First down for Washington on a pickup of 11. Now look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he
Curtis Samuel with another catch. Picks up 7.
They've taken care of that early.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. They'll send a tight end in motion right. 2nd down.
And Brian Robinson has some space, and he bounces this to the outside. Runs out of bounds. Gain of 10 there.
Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Washington first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Faking the handoff, Howell.
And that pass is complete to John Bates. Picks up 4.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they...
Brian Robinson on the carry, and Brian Robinson to the 16, and he's hurt.
Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
So Antonio Gibson comes in for the injured Brian Robinson and gets stuffed immediately. Looks like they sent out an all-out blitz there. He has a pectoral strain. So we're going to keep him in the game. Because if you list him as out or bench, then what ends up happening is he just doesn't play the rest of the game. I want him to play.
I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball.
But I don't want to risk major injury.
Prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Now is 2nd and 10.
Here's Gibson again. Picks up 4. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. We're down by a touchdown, but we are driving.
Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing here, Howell.
And that pass over the middle is complete to Jahan Dotson for the touchdown.
12-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders are an extra point away from drawing.
Big time throw there from Sam Howell.
Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
The football will come out to the 25.
The kick lands in the end zone for the touchback.
San Francisco's offense returns to the field. They start from scratch here, so to speak. 14-all following the interception last time that led to a score. Now they've got it 1st and 10. They start on the ground with McCaffrey.
And McCaffrey bounces off a couple tacklers, but only picks up 3.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates. defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. McCaffrey running up the middle.
McCaffrey, back-to-back carries, picks up 4.
And about 4 more for first.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
Or also just sit back. They're going to throw it all the way down.
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now Purdy.
That pass over the middle is held on to by the backup tight end for the first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations.
Got Jeremy Reeves in the game for Cameron Curl. And that quick pass is complete to Brandon Ayuk. Picks up 6.
His second catch, this one not quite as dynamic as his first, and it's 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone.
And that pass is complete. Deebo Samuel.
And Deebo gonna have a Niners.
The Niners pick up the first down.
Just shy of midfield.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Again, it's Purdy to throw it.
And that pass is going to be picked off. This is Jatavius Martin, and Jatavius Martin is off to the races and in for the score.
An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Well, no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense.
What a rookie season he's having.
They're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
The PAT is up and good. We're up 21-14.
And the lead is now 21-14. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6, they'll get another shot.
All year we've struggled with turnovers, and we got 2 interceptions already here in the second quarter.
The rest of this offense here for this upcoming series. He's up near 100 yards now here in the second quarter, but his team's down.
Through no fault of his own. I mean, what a nice game he's having so far. They've got to keep finding ways to get him the football. Don't get away from that.
And that pass intended for Brandon Ayuk, incomplete. Jatavius Martin, who just had that pick 6, was in on the coverage. He was open.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
Throwing on 2nd down, it's Purdy.
And that play results in a sack. Was losing my train of thought there for a second. Montez Sweat comes in for the sack. Chase Young was also there on the pressure. Brock Purdy, under pressure again, has to just throw this one away. What a series by our defense there. Chase Young was bringing the pressure. And the Niners are going to kick this one away. We're 2 plays away from being up 21-0, by the way. Niners, of course, had that long touchdown pass to Brandon Ayuk where he broke a couple of tackles. And they had that kick return touchdown.
And the Commanders will take over with a...
So Brian Robinson is dealing with an injury. Kept him on the bench for a little bit. Had him sit out for a series. Well, he's coming back in.
Robinson, the Commander offense. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He is
Brian Robinson,
really shouldn't underestimate
good for 6.
Because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals.
Well, think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
And that pass is incomplete, intended for Logan Thomas. That was almost picked.
Maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
The offense
Gonna try a screen here.
They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Howell will look to throw it.
And that pass gets thrown into the dirt, incomplete. 4th down. Gonna punt it away.
Have the defense react too quickly, and you definitely don't want to throw it too late, and that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
He's been a busy
That pass is gonna land, or that's not a pass. That punt is going to be pinned down at the 1. I'm the best punter on YouTube. What can I say? Even though I completely whiffed on the special teams coverage.
Very precarious field position inside their own 5.
And remember, this is a defense that's already scored once in this game, so you've got to really take care and make sure that you're blocking these guys who try and wedge the ball out from the shadow of your own end zone.
Purdy from his own end zone.
And that pass is going to be complete to George Kittle to pick up the 1st down.
Down up past the 15-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. If you're going to blitz,
Sold out for the safety there.
Man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him.
Brock Purdy under pressure again. He's holding on to the ball forever back there. Pass is incomplete. Intended for Deebo Samuel.
Around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback, because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
On 2nd down,
And that is going to be a run from Christian McCaffrey. Picks up 6.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of the tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
This now a 3rd and 4. Purdy now to throw.
And that pass intended for Christian McCaffrey is going to be out of bounds. Incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down. Niners are going to punt again. An accurate pass would have been a huge gain there.
Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Brian Robinson Jr. making his way back onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Flip play here. Brian Robinson. Good for 6.
He's been working well towards 100 here. 61 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this 1st half. They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. They'll go play action. Howell.
That pass over the middle is hauled in by Jahan Dotson, who survives a massive hit from the safety.
27 yards there, a 1st down. And he's turning in a nice performance. Remember, he had the touchdown earlier, and this time he's able to beat double coverage to grab it.
I think that if he weren't worried about a taunting penalty, he'd run by the opposing team's bench and say,
Gibson on the carry there, only good for a couple. Sadiq Charles there just stopped running for whatever reason.
Two minutes remaining in this first.
And we hit the 2-minute warning.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. This is 2nd and 8. Here's Howell.
And that pass is incomplete. Intended for Curtis Samuel. Went for the deep post route.
I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd.
Wait, that's not what I wanted to call. Whatever, we're rolling with it. We're rolling with it. Curtis Samuel! Incomplete. We just threw a post pattern. Probably wasn't the smartest idea. I thought he was open, though. Did that go off his hands? No, it was knocked away. All right, we're going to go for the field goal here. Try to make it a 2-score game. Uh-oh. And that kick is going to be no good. Wide left by Joey Sly.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got
He's been pretty good all year.
And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love
That's
to
a
get
quick
points.
pass. Complete George Kittle. Picks up 8.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like, because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge, because they're trying
Brock
to
Purdy
trying to increase it. Let's see how this
holds on to the ball for 10 billion years again. Completes the pass. It's good for the first. No huddle again. Purdy under pressure. Brought down for the sack. They were trying to go hurry up, but we're going to take a timeout, actually. Maybe we can sneak another possession out of there. Try to get 3 more points on the board.
This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again.
2nd and 17. That's going to be a screen pass to Christian McCaffrey, and he breaks a tackle and steps out of bounds after a pretty big gain of 15 yards. Not enough for the first. They're trying to make us regret. Taking that time out.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
Man, that's going to be a quick pass to Christian McCaffrey, but it's short. We're going to take a timeout. What are they going to do? They're going to punt? That is straight terrorism.
So on 4th down, here's the Australian native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away.
We're going for the block, and they're going to call a fake, and it's a direct snap to the fullback, and he gets smothered. We take over. Great starting field position. 46 seconds left. Only 1 timeout.
They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. They'll throw on 1st down. Here's Howell.
And that pass is caught. Jahan Dotson, big gain into field goal range, steps out of bounds.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
Howell throwing on 1st down here. Nowhere to go.
No! Bullshit! He was starting his throwaway motion. He started his motion.
He also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did.
And is that a fumble? That doesn't look like a fumble to me.
And now, as with every
They're going to do a booth review.
Take a second look at this just to make sure.
All right, and the call is overturned. So we had two bullshits go against us on this play. The first one is that it was ruled a fumble, which thankfully it was overturned. But the second one is Sam Howell starts his throwaway motion. And then the game's like, oh, nope, sorry. Tackle animation's already been triggered. It's a fumble. Sorry, bucko. And ultimately...
So that one overturned.
Wait,
they was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Now here's a timeout.
And of course the clock ends up running down. The clock had stopped because of the booth review. We gotta try to get out of bounds here.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Howell.
Dotson has the catch. Dotson's out of bounds. Back at the 34, where we were originally. And we have 4 seconds left. We're going to bring Joey Sly out. 51-yard field goal attempt to end the half. He missed one from 48 earlier.
Right before the half ends.
See how this one looks. Kick is up. And it's good. We're up by 2 scores. And we get the ball to start off the second half.
So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting answers.
All right, so I think our offensive focus, we're going to run the ball inside again. We got to keep defending the short pass. We've been getting a lot of pressure under Purdy, and I think a lot of that's because of our coverage against the short pass. Anyways, we're going to start the second half here. Curtis Samuel to the 24.
Here come the Commanders for the first possession of the third quarter. Well, Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead. Now a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, and believe it or not, you and I have...
And Antonio Gibson falls forward for a yard.
Run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
Howell down to throw it.
And that's Terry McLaurin's first catch of the game. It's not a big one, only goes for 7 yards.
Past the 30 to the 32.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch.
Here's a give Brian Robinson. I think he has enough for the first, and he does, barely.
Downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on first and second down.
And Brian Robinson stuffed for a loss. Terrible blocking attempt on that trap play. That's Javon Hargrave on the tackle there.
That's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. And Howell will throw it.
And that pass is picked off by Fred Warner. He lurked over the middle. He's going to be brought down from behind by Terry McLaurin at the 23-yard line.
That's what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we?
So he started off, he kind of came forward a little bit. I was waiting to see if he would drop back, but then he progressively dropped back some more. Logan Thomas also ran a horrible route here. He's supposed to run the underneath route, go in front of Fred Warner. Now, that's the problem. He's supposed to make, well, on this play, so first off, we have a little switch concept here. We got a wheel from Dotson and a post from McLaurin. I saw they were in single high safety. Looks like they're in man coverage. So I checked off that. The second thing I was looking at was the mesh concept we have over the middle, or the drive concept. I'm looking at Fred Warner here. I'm IDing the mic, and I'm seeing if he drops back deep, then I'm throwing the ball to Logan Thomas. If he plays the underneath route, I'm throwing it to Curtis Samuel. And he starts off kind of playing shallow, but Logan Thomas is supposed to be running in front of him, and he runs behind him. And then I throw the ball to Curtis Samuel. Fred Warner is right there to pick it off. A lot of action happening in this game.
Don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
They're going to start off a run. CMC picks up 8.
8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easy.
Another give, McCaffrey. And McCaffrey breaks a couple tackles, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown.
Christian McCaffrey hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown.
Awful tackling there. Couldn't get off our blocks.
Turnover on defense and converted into 6 points.
Niners are going to make it a 3-point game.
And that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Back onto the field now, the Commanders' offense. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter, despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. They start on the ground with Robinson here. And he is
Robinson brought down from behind Fred Warner.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Back to throw, Howell.
Terry McLaurin picks up 8.
Yards on the completion there, and now it's 3rd and 3.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And we got flag on the play there. Is that going to be PI?
Might be a roughing call.
No, it's going to be a roughing call. Probably even better for us. With 15 yards instead of a spot foul, and that was a short pass. Arik Armstead gets hit with the penalty.
Adds a little extra to it when it comes on 3rd down.
It certainly does, because if this were a boxing match, they had him on the ropes there. 3rd down incompletion, 4th down upcoming. Instead, that mistake resets everything back to 1st down, which means they have to stay on the field longer to try and stop
And that pass complete. Curtis Samuel holds on, picks up 5.
And that'll make it 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough
2nd and 5 here. Nice block there by Ricky Stromberg, by the way. Brian Robinson picks up 4. 3rd down and short.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again. Continue to
And Antonio Gibson on the carry here, and Gibson picks up the 1st down and then some.
defense back on its heels.
A pickup of 5 that time and a 1st down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On 1st
Brian
and 10,
Robinson
Robinson. And he'll manage to pick
picks up
about
4.
4 and 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 6. This time they'll throw it with Howell.
And Gibson's not looking.
It's going to be incomplete.
this one got disrupted right from the start and ends up falling incomplete.
Screens might be a no for the rest of the game.
6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Throwing here, Howell.
That pass is incomplete. Intended for Logan Thomas. And we're going to have to kick another field goal here. I'd love to go for it. 4th and 6 is just too risky. And that kick is up and good. We do get points on the drive, although it's still a one-score game.
So 3 points, response there to that opening touchdown in this third quarter.
And that's an important 3, both in terms of adding to your lead, but also letting the other guys know you're not going to just come out in the second half and take over.
The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. The Niners set to take over on offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated.
And Christian McCaffrey on the carry here breaks out of a couple tackles.
To me, it just comes down to who can execute.
Picks up 6.
And which side can step up and assert its will over the other. I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry. And they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Another run. Christian McCaffrey, and what a tackle there by Daron Payne.
To pick up the first, a gain of 2.
3rd and 1.
Stuff that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey.
And McCaffrey picks up the first down and then some to midfield.
To the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 67 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Purdy will set up to throw it here.
Quick pass. Deebo Samuel close to the first down.
But then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Same play as last time. Nope. I was wrong. That's why you don't assume. McCaffrey is able to pick up the first.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency.
And this is Elijah Mitchell on the carry. His first carry of the game goes for 4. Kind of a weird animation there. And that's going to end the third quarter. We're still up 27-21. Niners are driving here, though. We need to make a stop.
It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. Purdy now on 2nd down.
And that pass is complete. George Kittle picks up the first.
We're going to have a 49ers first down as he'll get it down inside the 25. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Purdy looking to throw on first down here.
And that pass complete. George Kittle makes the catch and goes all the way down to the 5.
It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know This is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
That's a swing pass. Christian McCaffrey, and the tackle is made there by Chase Young.
Behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
McCaffrey again to the 2.
2-yard line. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Well, Brennan, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
You want to.
without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
And that pass is going to be thrown out of bounds by Purdy. Incomplete, 4th and goal. What do the Niners do? They're going to go for it.
Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. They'll run
And this is handed off to McCaffrey, and he can't get in. What a terrible play call. They end up running it out of the gun on 4th and goal from the 2, and we get the ball back.
Blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that. And that's the
We do have to get out of the end zone, though, as Robinson hesitates. Not the place to hesitate, but he does plow forward for a few. It brings up 2nd and 7.
going to the bench after that big play.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection.
Brian Robinson
Not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling.
picks up a yard.
Right to the hands of your running back. Tell him to take care of the ball and try to move forward. Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Howell throwing on 3rd down.
And that pass is incomplete. Howell hit almost immediately. My center just didn't block anyone. Rookie Stromberg, who's been pretty good this year, but he whiffed on that play. Worst possible moment. We have no choice here but to punt this one away. McLaurin was open, too, for a pretty nice game. That was the one time Fred Warner wasn't absolutely lurking over the middle of the field. Bad news is the 49ers have terrific field position to start off this next drive. The good news is that they need a touchdown, so we have a little bit of leeway.
Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
And that's a quick pass, incomplete though, intended for Deebo Samuel, and Marcus Cannon, the starting right tackle for the Niners, is injured on the play.
2nd and 10. Purdy looking to throw.
Another quick pass, and what a play there by, is that Cody Barton? No. Yeah, that was Cody Barton. What a play.
This offense on 3rd down today, lacking much success.
3rd and 10. It's probably 4-down territory for the Niners, though. It's Purdy under pressure, throws that one out of bounds, almost gets sacked, and it's going to be 4th down. And they're going to go for the field goal? We're going to just let them kick this. It's a 56-yard field goal. It is 4th and 10, though. If the kicker has the leg for it, I guess it's not the worst move, and he does. So they do make it a field goal game. But we do get the ball back. Just under 6 minutes to go.
Called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive.
And that kick. We're going to take this out of the end zone. Curtis Samuel
Sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late,
only makes it to the 19, so not a good return there.
Here comes the Commanders' offense back onto the field. Fourth quarter, they cling to a 3-point lead after the field goal a moment ago, and it's certainly a very critical drive with still a good chunk of time remaining.
We'll open up this drive with some Brian Robinson action again, and he picks up 6.
After a gain of 6.
And we got an injury. Is that Eric Armstead's injured?
Always unfortunate to see an injury.
I will stop the clock.
The end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
This is a give to Gibson, and the Niners crash in on it. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage. They brought the blitz.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively.
Third down.
Stop them and bring up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that.
And Terry McLaurin makes the catch, but he's short of the first down. What was that traffic there in the middle of the field? It was Brian Robinson running a shitty route. It's 4th and 1. We're at the 28. We have to kick this.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
On 4th down,
And there's the kick. McCaffrey.
It's taken to the 26.
To the 32.
The return was for 7. And it will be first and
But another strong defensive drive.
The 49ers ready to set up shop again offensively. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And Brock Purdy is brought down for the sack by Cody Barton. Brock Purdy is taking more sacks than Elton John.
You don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them, but I'm quite sure
2nd and 17.
to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question.
And it's going to be a run play. Deebo Samuel out of the backfield actually gets a nice gain of 12 yards.
Around the 37. It's a pickup and 12 that'll set up a 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it.
McCaffrey back in the backfield, 3rd and 6.
From the gun.
And that pass is complete. Brandon Ayuk holds onto it, and he ends up picking up the first.
They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practice.
And that pass is complete. Deebo Samuel picks up 6.
First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And it looks like we're going to hit the 2-minute warning, and we do.
Separating these two sides with 2 minutes.
We're up by 3. 2 minutes to go
So it's 49er
in regulation.
Get your reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Now 2nd and 4. Shotgun now with Purdy.
And that pass to the outside's off the hands. Was that Deebo Samuel? I don't know who that was, but it was Kendall Fuller in coverage. He's had a great game today. 3rd down.
To your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away, but you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
And that pass, weird fucking animation there, but it's complete to Deebo Samuel. Picks up the 1st down.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Here's Purdy to throw.
Brock Purdy under pressure has to throw this one away. He's had to do that a lot. 2nd down.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath. and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Purdy to throw.
And Brock Purdy's brought down for the sack. Daron Payne bringing the pain. And the 49ers have to call their first timeout. Third and 20.
To throw is
Purdy has to throw this away. Fourth down.
But that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
All right, game on the line here. Biggest play of the game. 4th and 20.
Here's Purdy.
They're calling a screen pass, and that gets thrown in the dirt, but there's a flag on the play. And it's going to be roughing the passer. Oh, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me.
The types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead.
That is the worst time for a roughing penalty. We just won the game, and that penalty gives the Niners new life. First down from the 39. They're in borderline field goal range already, as that pass is incomplete, intended for George Kittle.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now.
And that's a quick pass to the outside, caught by George Kittle, and George Kittle has some space, and he's pushed out of bounds all the way to the 13-yard line.
Their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout. Absolutely ideal there.
So they're well into field goal range now. 1:06 left to go.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Back to throw.
And that pass is incomplete, out of the reach of Deebo Samuel. Good coverage there by Emmanuel Forbes. 2nd down.
Not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
That pass over the head of Deebo Samuel again, with me using Emmanuel Forbes in coverage. I don't even know what route he was supposed to run. It was just a go route, it looks like.
Because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been in one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
Calling an audible here.
They'll look to throw.
Purdy has to throw this one away again. That brings up 4th down. Does take a lot of time off the clock. They need a field goal to tie it. 53 seconds left. I'm not going to bother icing them. It's a chip shot field goal from 30 yards out. I think the chances of them missing that, even with an ice, is pretty slim. We'll hold on to all 3 of our timeouts with about 50 seconds to go. A tied game here in regulation.
Did you leave too much time on the clock? As another field goal the other way, that does you in.
Probably going to let this land in the end zone, except it's going to be fielded at about the 3 by Curtis Samuel. And Curtis Samuel with a decent return there, down to the 29. Had a little bit of a crease there to potentially do something big. Didn't happen. Still a solid return, though. Terry McLaurin's going to be our first read here.
Here's Howell.
Although if he's not open, we can definitely go to Jahan Dotson. He's having a big game. Timeout.
Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go.
Can you give me some different plays besides tight end wheel? It's a good play, but I can't call it every play. I refuse to do the Madden cheese. 1st and 10. Close to field goal range.
Howell to throw.
Quick pass complete to Logan Thomas there. Picks up 6. We're going to call another timeout.
Now the Commander's going to burn the second of their timeouts as the
Oh, crap.
with 33 seconds remaining.
We're going to run the ball here. We're feeling ballsy. We're feeling ballsy, and Antonio Gibson shows you why we're feeling ballsy. No, wait, why'd we call another timeout?
Because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
Why'd I call a timeout there?
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Toss play to Robinson. And he gets it down a yard or two shot.
All right, we pick up 7.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the
We're going for the field goal.
tossing it to the runner.
They're going to ice us.
Intrigue is,
Hopefully, I don't fuck up. The wind should be going straight. I can't remember if it's at our back or if it's going forward.
That's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
So now one of the biggest
We are on the left hash, though.
This to almost certainly win the football game.
Not even fucking close.
Not going to be anywhere close. No good. Way wide to the left. And a costly one there as this game.
I hate the icing of the kicker so much in this game. They do have 15 seconds left and 1 timeout.
I think it's a good idea. You and I will stay out of that business, but different kickers react in different ways. It doesn't faze some of them. Others, you're not quite sure, but for whatever the reason, this game is still tied.
On 1st down, it's
Purdy looking to throw again, brought down by Montez Sweat. It looks like they're going to let this run to the end of regulation. We're going to overtime. We've had like 3 or 4 overtime games this year. This will either be the 3rd or 4th.
Twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20.
All right. Here we are. We have won the coin toss. We're going to receive the kick.
The other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick 6 or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So the first chance of this overtime.
All right, here we go. This kick is going to land in the end zone for a touchback.
Will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession.
Brian Robinson
And
for 6.
All teams plan for a game. I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet. He's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
Now a first throw here in overtime.
Sam Howell overthrows Terry McLaurin.
Was trying to get it to Terry McLaurin, and it's 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd down, Howell.
Terry McLaurin has it again, and it's incomplete. Fred Warner knocks it out. We have to kick it away.
The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Gotta punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy
McCaffrey.
Line up in punt formation.
The Niners start this drive at the 41. They only need a field goal here to win it.
Definitely not his best. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points, and now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
And that's a quick pass, complete. Pick up 6. Jawan Jennings on the catch.
Because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick 6, fumble return. You can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward
Play
to
action. Purdy looking to throw. Throws on the run and a diving catch by Deebo Samuel. Brings them down to the 30. They are well in field goal range now.
You throw for a whole heap of yards in the game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. From Commanders
Probably going to just run out the clock now.
At the 30-yard line. Purdy off the play fake.
Play action. And Purdy takes a massive sack. David Mayo and Jamin Davis bring him down. That knocks them out of field goal range.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game.
We're bringing pressure again. Brock Purdy has not done well under pressure. That is a quick pass complete to Kittle, and he's pushed out of bounds after a gain of a couple. They are still in field goal range. We got to bring pressure again. It's kind of against what my game plan is.
Well, a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17.
And he throws it away. 4th and 17. They could still very well hit this field goal, but this is far from a gimme. We're going to call a timeout. Try to ice him here. All right, this is a 50-something yard field goal. 54. He might have the leg for it. That kick is up, and that kick is good. We lose in overtime.
It is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and...
Did I just quit the game? I was hoping to look at stats. Whoops. Well, I guess before we look at the stats, we do have some upgrades. Cameron Curl, who was injured this past game. We'll do run support. Having a very good season, by the way, Cameron Curl. And Brian Robinson having an excellent season. Most likely going to be a Pro Bowl running back. Yeah, I don't really care about the fullback, respectfully. So that's a pretty crushing loss for us. We're now 500 again. I meant to look at the stats at the end of the game. All right, so Sam Howell, 14 of 28, so he's completing half his passes, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Again, it's the accuracy for me. 5.4 yards per attempt. Rushing, Brian Robinson, 19 for 92. Gibson, 9 for 39. Not bad. Dotson had a really nice game. 5 grabs, 92 yards, and a touchdown. Curtis Samuel added in 3 for 22 and a touchdown. McLaurin, 3 for 18. Thomas, 2 for 14. John Bates added in 1 for 4. On the defensive side, Riley Barton had 9 tackles. Derek Forrest had 8. 3 TFLs for Jartavius Martin, who also had 2 sacks and a pick 6. That's potentially defensive player of the week. Stats right there. Ton of sacks. 2 for Martin, 2 for Montez Sweat, 1 for Cody Barton, 1 for Daron Payne, half a sack for David Mayo and Jamin Davis each. interceptions, as I mentioned earlier, a pick 6 by Jatavius Martin, and Kendall Fuller, who had a very strong game despite his struggles this year, had a pick as well. So we drop a bit of a heartbreaker there. We do have one new injury to, rub some salt in the wound, and it's Cameron Curl with broken ribs. He's going to be out for 5 weeks, so he's going to be out for the Super Bowl regardless. We're going to place him on season-ending IR. Might add another player to the roster. We'll see. If we somehow make the playoffs, we will. Speaking of the playoffs, let's just go ahead and simulate this. Alright, let's view the playoff picture. I don't think anything's changed. I think we have to look at the standings. Oh, and speaking of awards, yeah, Jatavius Martin won Defensive Player of the Week with 6 tackles, 2 sacks, and a pick 6. Alright, so the division winners are the Falcons, the Cowboys. Looks like the 49ers are winning their division. The Vikings are winning theirs. So the wild card teams right now are the Panthers. They've clinched. But it looks like that's it. Oh, and the Seahawks have clinched too. So it's between us and the Eagles. Although I think we lost to the Eagles twice this year. Or did we only lose to them once? I can't remember.
Can I talk my... Come on! That other side. The Oakley way. Hey. C5! Can't nobody do me like I do me. And I don't care to be nobody else cause I'm unique. I'm fine with me. I am God and God is me. Dream so big might die in my sleep. And I ain't running from it. It's only a loss if you ain't learned nothing from it. I turned to a boss. Remember I was under budget. Now I pay the staff off and fly them to another country. It's for the love of the game. Never for the...
Oh, we're 2-3 within the division and the Eagles are 3-2. So they'll play the Giants next week. We play the Cowboys.
When you get it out the mud, it hit different. Used to say when the cops came, we hit fences. Now I'm blowing smoke out the country with 2 thick. I'ma take them both back to the penthouse and get. That's how it's supposed to be. Life is beautiful. I'm doing small believe. Flew out to Colombia and brought me home some. Used to be the underdog, now they put me overseas. And I don't wanna be nobody else, nigga. Do me like I do me. And I don't care to be nobody else cause I'm unique.
Yeah, we lost both times we played the Eagles. So I don't know how we still have a shot at the playoffs. But yeah, anyways, I think that's going to do it for today. I don't really have a whole lot to add. There is a possibility that I will put out another Madden stream in the next couple days. Check out my channel for postings if you're interested in that kind of stuff. But otherwise, there will be a stream every Thursday for the rest of the NFL season after Thursday Night Football. So, at the very least, I'll see you guys next Thursday night, but stay tuned for updates. You might get a stream sooner than that. Thank you. Good night.